Okay. All right. So give me a moment while I share this, please. One second. Please and thank you. These notifications. Okay, there's just people laughing, all this stuff. Blah, say blah. Okay, here we go. And then paste. Okay, now let me add this actual post and then we will begin. Okay, now I do have a this is a live one, but I've recorded three different parts. So we'll we'll deal with that later. Correct YouTube still greatly. Hold on. Let me put this right here. And then okay. All right. So we are going to look at a couple here. And we'll just go from there. All right. So we're going to use myself as a reference point. Okay. So let's check me out first. All right. That's what it's supposed to look like here, people. That's the full movement here. All right. Here we go. Check out my root. Everything, like with all Tai Chi, is from the root and the Dantian. Okay, if the root is not coordinated with the hands, okay, it's pointless. Then it's just muscle power. Everything must be connected from the shifting. The shifting is the most important part of the silk reeling. Just like the footwork and in the leg and the stance and the shifting is the most important part in the Tai Chi. So it makes Tai Chi because it's from the legs. Okay. Look how it's coordinated. Okay. My arm is meshed with my shifting. Okay. My arm is really not moving, believe it or not. I'm guiding it. You can see how my body moves naturally. Okay. Let's just turn the wheel. Watch again. Notice how my hands kind of cut through the air. It allows when I add my arms with my shifting and I mesh them, then my arm gets a chance to relax. The elbow gets a chance to relax. The shoulder, my upper body gets a chance to relax and flow with the shifting. Okay. It's pretty simple, people. Okay. All right. Now let's look at some other ones here, right? Just for a reference point, because this is kind of getting ridiculous a little bit here, people. All right, so let's remove this. Okay, and let's look at some that are not so nah. All right. So I don't really know who this guy is, okay, or anything, but let's just check it out. So some
The arms or spiral silk legs. In this video, we're connecting the bottom half and the top half so that the whole body can integrate.
So you're connecting the bottom half with the top half. That's supposed to be integrated. I'm really not sure why you would want to separate like that, but okay.
Grilling motion. Now, this is the first exercise that's generally taught as a silk grilling movement. The reason that I broke it up into individual components before is because sometimes it's difficult to keep everything going together if you don't know what each part is doing individually.
Okay, so the thing with the silk reeling is one is supposed to be constant. Okay, and so I guess he has a point. Okay, but it becomes more complicated when you separate them when it's supposed to be moving together. You see what I'm trying to say?
So in this video, we're bringing it all together to practice whole body silk reeling, which is what you'll be doing when you practice Taiji forms. So for this exercise, we're going to start with the feet like we did for our individual leg exercises. So we're just going to step out, turn the feet out, about 45-degree angle.
Okay, I'm not really sure why the feet are turned out that way. The way that I was taught is that if the feet aren't pointed forward, that puts extra pressure on the knees. That's why the shifting, the stance shifting, should be feet pointed forward.
Make sure that you're not so far apart that it's difficult for you to move easily from side to side. If you need to bring the feet a little closer together, that's fine. What you want to do is make sure you can maintain good structure, good alignment, and good control of your movement as you're going from side to side. Remember, as you do silk grilling, that one side is turning in, one side is turning out.
I don't know where he got that part from, turned in and one turned out. If you could try to stand, okay, let's compare and contrast a little bit, okay? Now, here are my feet, or his feet, okay? Then look, you can feel it actually. It's kind of hard to describe it from a sitting position, okay? Or from not sitting, but over the internet, right? But if I could try to give you the feeling by speaking of physics, I guess we could start right there. All right, so let's compare, contrast a little bit. All right, the right way. Where is this? Okay. Now my feet are pointed forward. Okay. They're not one is pointed inward. So when you point the feet forward, that will make the energy stay within a frame. You see? It stays within there. If you point the feet outward, like we saw in the other video, okay, then it's splayed. Okay, nothing is really in a frame when you splay your feet like that. Okay, and when you open up, okay, then that opens up your hips. Okay, then becomes more of a squatting thing. Okay, it's like, imagine if like how can I say this? Okay, then if the energy is always, like, for example, your feet, okay, if your feet are splayed outward in a 45-degree like that, you can try that, right, while you're standing or whatever, as I'm talking, okay, then the energy is, there is no grounding, okay, meaning that it's from the center. Okay, you want to keep the energy in a frame so it stays within. All right, you don't have any center grounding. Okay, if your feet is splayed that way, okay, because your hands are constantly moving out, so you want to have something that holds something within that middle, so it can be generated without muscle power. All right, so let's go back. Stop this part. Let's go back to what this guy was saying here.
As you're going from side to side. Remember, as you do silk grilling, that one side is turning in, one side is turning out. We're going to go back to the same arm movement that we did in the last video. So the last video, we worked on this arm movement just by itself. Now we're going to connect that to the bottom half. So we're going to shift our weight to the right side, We're going to check to make sure our alignment is good, our structure is good, and that we have the silk ruling coming up the right leg, going down the left leg. Just take your left hand and put it on your left hip like you're being judgy at someone. Don't be judgy. Off to this right corner, okay? So it's here. From here, it's going to drop down. As it's dropping down, you're going to shift the weight to the left leg. You're going to spiral out with the right leg, in with the left leg, and in with the right hand as the hand comes across.
You're spiraling with the legs?
Right leg, in with the left leg, and in with the right hand. As you're going to spiral out with the right leg, in with the left leg, and in with the right hand as the hand comes across. As it starts to come up, it's going to start its outward.
So you're spiraling. He's spiraling the legs while the feet are pointed outward. Oof. So you want to individually, he wants to individually spiral the legs and the knees while the feet are pointed outward, while you're constantly putting pressure on the knees and the legs. Okay, that doesn't really feel safe, because if you want it to spiral in, because you're no matter what, you're spiraling towards the center to cross. Okay, so where is it contained? You see what I'm trying to say? There is no containment. It's almost like you put water into a cup, it's contained. Okay. But imagine if there was no part in the cup for it to hold. Like you pour the water out and it just goes out to the side. It's not a cup anymore. Right? Spiraling from the knees isn't really a safe idea. You're twisting the knee that way. And you can see right here now, it's the hips is moving rather than the stance traversing, because he's spiraling with the knees. I'm not sure how that's really safe. And see, now he has to press instead of, it's almost like a pendulum where you roll the ball down the hill and the ball keeps rolling. You don't have to keep pushing the ball down the hill. See, now he's letting it go. You see right there, he has to force it, that last part. The arm is bent and he has to twist his waist. It's almost like he's dropping rather than reeling. See right there. Now the body has to turn along with all the twisting action of the knees. This doesn't really look safe. Okay, so let's compare and contrast. Okay, we're going to do that. And we're going to go back to the one that I posted. Okay, and I want you to watch the difference. Okay, look. Now watch. Okay. Now, because my feet are pointed in, I don't have to undulate and use my leg muscles as much. Watch the flow. Boom. Watch my body with the shift. Because it's contained on the side. I don't watch my upper body again. Boom. See how they end at the same time? And they begin at the same time? It's contained. Sorry. Okay. It wouldn't make sense to have the feet splaying out. Then your hips have to do extra work. Look at it. All coordinated, all at the same time. See, I'm not rising up. It's compacted as a spring. Okay. The volume is turned off because we already know why, right? People copying my stuff. I don't like that. So I removed the video. Right? Okay, so let's go back to what else he was talking about. Mm-hmm. So we'll take this down. Okay, we'll replace this. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you are new and subscribe as well. All right, let's check this out.
shift to the right.
Right there, okay? He's forcing it from the hips because it's not safe to twist the knee. You're not, the spiraling is the movement. The spiraling isn't in a certain specific section. You don't need to do that. Okay? If you are going to spiral like that, okay, anytime you spiral, there has to be a point where it could continue to spiral. It's not like anyway.
Turn.
Right there. That's muscle power in the hips. And you can see in his hands is stiff. It's pointed out because the energy is trapped.
Make sure your alignment's good.
Okay, there is no alignment there. That alignment doesn't make sense because the energy is looking out.
All the silk drilling that's been going on in our previous videos is how motion of the body wasn't really present when we were just doing arms, when we were just doing legs. That area of the body was pretty stationary. This is a very key component to silk ruling and to Tai Chi power. So this connection of the bottom half to the top half through the waist, through the body, through the spine is really the key to this motion and how it connects the power that you're generating in the legs to the power that you're generating in the.
Okay, but it's not about power. You're not generating power. I mean, you are generating power, but it's not for power. Okay, you are technically using power to extra turn your body. We're using physics again. Something has to keep constant. If you want a constant of something, then that means you can't keep putting force. There has to be something constant involuntarily to keep it going. Okay.
The right hand down.
Right here, there's nothing constant. It stops.
Spiral in, internal spiral with the right hand.
It's supposed to be a natural.
Across the body.
Watch again. See right there. You had to force it. There is no. When you do the silk reeling, it's continual. It's almost like everything looks the same. There's too many individual moving parts. Watch again.
As it starts its outward spiral, you're going to start to shift.
Right there, it locks. Watch his waist.
Turn to the right.
His hips aren't, because of the way his feet are, okay, there's no in the hips. When I say I mean it's not pointed in. Now his hips is splayed and wide. And now he has to move his waist when it shouldn't have to be forced. Right there, this is just arm and tricep instead of the root. See how his root stopped moving and this is moving independently?
And settles at the end.
Okay, you're not supposed to stop.
Toward that right corner. It starts its inward spiral as it's dropping down and you're shifting to the left. It continues.
He starts the movement off right. But because his feet are splayed out, he has to force the hips right there.
As you turn.
All right. If you're doing this, is really not safe for your knees, okay? Because there is no landing.
It begins its hips outward spiral as you shift back to the right and continue.
It's all on the outside. There's nothing in the center.
And settle the hand. So we're going to go through that. Inward spiral.
Right there. Okay. Now let's go back and compare and contrast a little bit. Okay. Watch my body. It's pretty simple, people. Look. Everything moves together. Flow. I did not move my arm. I'm not moving my arm. The shift is. It lands in the shoulder socket. It's almost like pushing a ball down the hill. Look at that. The movement is the spiral, not an individual. Flow. Now watch where my hands land. Watch. It follows the stance. Everything is together. Okay, there's a landing. That's why stances are important. It's contained. It's almost like if you guys watch Naruto, it's like a Rasengan. Okay? A Rasengan is about spiraling energy and contained into a ball. Okay, so it's constantly spiraling and moving within a compacted sphere. So the energy can keep moving, ricocheting almost. Okay. This is basically in my stance, in my trend, my shifting, and it enables that. Watch my hips and my upper body move with my shift. Everything is connected. The spiraling is the movement. I'm not spiraling my legs. That's too much muscle force. And especially when your feet are pointed out like that, that's too much pressure on the knees. Your knees aren't meant to, you're not supposed to, it's not meant to do that. This is a very natural. This is basically like skating. Okay. I'll turn the volume up just so you guys can hear.
I'm straight. Whew. Sorry, that was a B. I'm straight. Now, I kind of hunch. Now, I'm not hunching to where my upper body is past my waist. I'm kind of hunching in a little bit here, almost rounding your back. So I'm rounding my back.
Well, okay, wait, okay, we'll get to that point later. Okay, but look.
Okay, and I'm not turning my body. My hips are forward. And this is important because if you twist your body, you'll put more pressure on your knees and you'll injure your knee. And you'll put unnecessary tension in your waist and your diaphragm so the chi won't circulate.
Damn.
And you can also see.
So if you guys ever find somebody that's teaching silk grilling and the first thing they do is arm movements, it's wrong. I'm sorry. Because the energy isn't starting from the hands. It's starting from the lower half.
Doing it, I'm not going here. I'm not moving my upper body. I'm just nudging it, and then my upper body flows. I'm nudging it, and the rest takes care of itself. I'm nudging it here. It's almost like pushing a ball down the hill.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back and compare and contrast to the other one. Okay. Let's go back. Bada bing, bada boom. Now watch his body with the shifting.
Outward spiral.
Watch.
To the right.
There it locks.
Inward spiral.
Okay, it's moving together. Then it's not the shift anymore. He's actually twisting from the upper body, from the hand, and from the waist. Forcefully. See, there's nothing for the waist to fold in.
Let's switch hands. So it's the same thing.
Okay.
Doing the left hand, shift the weight to the left. Left hand is out.
Because the hips are splayed.
Shift to the right as the hand drops.
Now, right there, it's muscle power. He has to keep pushing his legs.
Starts with inward spiral. Turn to the right.
Okay. This will actually get taxing because it's basically like you're squatting.
Continue the outward spiral and turn to the left.
Okay. I'm not sure what the energy or the weight distribution is. Okay. Right there. He's turning. That's muscle power. And you can see, look at his upper body. It's tense. The shoulders, the chest. That's because it's twisting unnecessarily. You guys remember, this is still a Qigong exercise. If there's no relaxation in any of it, okay, I don't know what to tell you.
Outward spiral.
Now, this is cool. Now, if he had that stance turned in, this would be where you stop. But because those legs and those hips are splayed, he has to turn extra right there. Now, right here, he's doing it right. Now, watch what happens. Right there is where it should stop. But he has to forcefully turn because of his stance is splayed. Right there. That's right there is where a lot of pressure is bad on your knees. I think he's compensating for that so he could turn the feet out. But he's also twisting from the knee, which is really not safe. And look at his other leg. It's not fully straightened. Look at that. That's purely waist.
Outward
And now his waist is locked.
spiral.
And he has to use his upper body to finish it because his waist is locked. Right there. Oh, there's a lot of pressure on that knee right now.
To the left.
And you can see how that arm moves independently. That's how you know.
One more. Drop the hand down.
Starts it off right there,
Bring it across.
but his hand isn't even aerodynamic to cut through the gravity.
In
That's
with
how
the
you
right,
know.
out with the left. Change the spiral.
And look at his upper body. There's no coiling with his upper body.
Right leg
It's not even moving through the spine. It's not moving up through the spine. It's twisting.
forward with the left leg.
And now he has to sit instead of staying
Now let's
in a
look at
constant flow. Okay, so let's go back to compare and contrast one more time. Now watch my body.
Now, my right arm, and then I nudge, and then this takes care of itself.
Takes care of itself.
Elbows.
Watch my arm and watch my upper body. No tension in that arm. Follows the shift. I'm guiding it.
Don't turn your body
See?
towards your leg. Keep it straight. I can still see my toes. My knees and my feet are forward.
Now, when I prepare, there's no there's relaxation, and the shoulder and the socket is in the torso because I'm not using it. Look at that.
My lower back is tucked. I'm relaxing my elbows and my shoulders.
Now, look, see how small that movement was. There's no muscle
Don't force it.
contraction.
Just
Or
nudge
force.
the feet or the legs. Just push off, and the upper body will take care of itself right here. It looks like I'm moving my upper body, but I'm really not. The action of me pushing and straightening, right, is taking care of its own.
Okay, now you guys remember this is still a qigong exercise. Okay, even when doing tai chi applications, okay, it's all from the dantian and the
Legs is
legs.
concerned. And you can see how my legs never straighten in the middle. They never are straight at the same time. One is either bent or straight. Right? And you can see as I transition, the bent leg is straight as I'm moving. Right? You can see the bent leg. It's not still bent as I'm moving. It's
See what I'm saying?
straight
It's not bent as I'm moving.
as I move. So as soon as it's bent, it's straight. And you can see that action of from bent to straight, the upper body just moves on its own.
Okay, now let's compare and contrast. Okay. Now watch his upper body, how it remains stuck. Look at that right there. It's no longer shifting anymore. It's tricep, shoulder, and lats right there. Right here is okay,
Inward spiral.
but now it's muscle tension. The shift is basically over. Look at that. Now he has to force turn it. Watch the root.
Outward spiral.
Okay, that's good right there. But now because his hips are splayed and his feet is out, he has to extra turn. It's no longer the root.
One more.
And there's no closing. So how is the energy supposed to keep going if there's never a point for the arc to bounce off?
Drop the hand down, bring it across.
You see right there? That's all hip.
Right side. Spiral in with the right.
You see right
down with
there.
the left.
Okay.
Change the spiral so you're going outward with the arms, outward with the right leg, inward with the left leg. Here. Now let's focus a little bit on the waist. So here, the waist is twisting to the right side.
Now he's right. It is twisting to the outside, but not with muscle power or muscle force. There's no force. Silk reeling is still a qigong movement. There's no qigong movement where you're using muscle force.
Here, it begins to transition a twist to the left. So here, I'm twisting through the waist.
No, you should be twisting through the root. The waist should be a natural component.
Low back through the body to the left.
This is why it's important. This is why it's important to ask for credentials before you start learning from everybody or anybody. Okay? Anybody with a pretty face can sell you anything, man. Okay? You guys got to get over that.
And up through the body. So you have this kind of a spiral going through the body here. That's being translated into this spiral. That's being translated into this spiral. So it all connects together, bottom half and top half.
Okay, but it's supposed to be a natural undulation, a natural oscillation. Okay? Otherwise, it's disconnected.
From here, we're going to spiral to the right.
See, force.
Change. Spiral to the left.
If you do not have the shifting right and the lower half right, it's force, man.
Spiral to
And there's no dantian.
spiral to the left.
It's all upper body right there.
If you grasp the concepts of silk reeling that were discussed in previous videos, if you grasp the individual spirals that were practiced.
Again, I would not, me personally, I would not, especially if you're teaching people that have, like I did, I taught people that had knee surgeries, knee replacements, hip surgeries, hip replacements, all that stuff. They will not be able to do this type of silk reeling because you're not twisting from the knee. Okay, that even mechanically doesn't make sense when walking. It's supposed to be a silk reeling or any type of qigong. It's supposed to be a natural body component, a natural thing that we do. Okay, there isn't any time in our lives when we have to twist our knee from one side to other to move.
Previous exercises, then connecting those spirals from the bottom half to the top half.
Okay, the way the energy moves and the channels move isn't the way our bones and our muscles move, man.
Be pretty simple at this point. If it still feels pretty complicated, try going back to individual components.
Okay, all right. Let me see what else. What else this guy got?
Legs, as I said before, is adding to the spiral through the torso, which is adding.
You're not. It's a very natural. Again, there is no extra force to spiral. Okay, then it's disconnected to the from the body, disconnected from the roots. Then the energy is trapped, and you put extra force on the knees.
To the spiral through the arm, so it's a smooth, continuous.
Okay, now look at his root. Now he's got that foot pointed a little bit more forward,
Completely
and now he leaves the frame right there.
through the entire body, which is getting this.
Okay, yeah, you got to pick one, man.
It's not this.
Yeah, either they're splayed or one is pointed forward and one is splayed out. You got to pick one.
Legs are spiraling, torso spiraling, arms spiraling,
Right there.
spiraling, and it's all
Now the feet are pointed forward.
as you go through.
And you see how he expanded his body. You don't
Torso
need to do
spiraling,
that.
arms spiraling, and it's all
Watch this.
connected as you go through.
Right there. And you see how it settles right there. It's very minute stuff. Watch again.
Spiraling, torso spiraling, arms spiraling.
Right
It's
here.
all connected
This is good. Okay. But watch.
as you.
You see how his upper body moved? Watch again.
Legs are spiraling, torso spiraling, arms spiraling, and it's all connected.
This is good. But watch. Right there. Because it's muscle power.
As you go.
And it expands and then it goes down. Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to learn.
All right, so let me give you guys one more look at what it's supposed to look like. Let me see. All right, check this
It
out.
helps you practice the action of letting go and being with the flow.
Watch my body. All at one. This is
move,
spiraling with the waist.
upper body follows. Good. Now, to transition, right after I finish the first whip, I'll put the right hand on my belly, and then the left hand begins. You can follow with your head
Very natural.
here. Remember, my waist is tucked.
Excuse me.
I can see my toes, my knees, and my feet are forward.
Because another reason why the shifting is so important, because you're doing that all throughout the form. If you're constantly using muscle force and muscle contraction to odulate and doing all these complicated spiraling hand movements, okay, your muscles will get tired. Then it will become a fitness exercise, okay? That's why when you shift, there has to be some relaxation there in a very natural way, so you're not using muscle contraction and muscle tension.
Down, facing the ground,
See?
straight. I'm going from
Watch
head
my upper body. It
leg
doesn't go up and it doesn't settle.
to straight leg.
Right there. Oh,
Good.
you can see it expands, but it's not up.
A few more times, and then we'll
Watch.
add the jing or the jin.
There is a jing that you can put extra on this. Very simple.
I want to breathe normally and breathe in. Breathe out to the side. Breathe normally. Facing the ground, breathe in.
Okay. Now you guys know what it looks like. You guys have a reference point. All right. I am not going to post the full video of this because we saw what happened with that last time. Please, guys, please, 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 please have some respect for tradition, man. Please, I beg of you. Like, I understand that everybody wants to be number one and all this stuff, man. But you know what? Like, there's nothing wrong with learning a new skill. There's nothing wrong about taking a couple of steps back to making sure that you're doing it the right way. And the proof is in the results. The proof is in the results. All right. There should be a clear difference in the way you move, in the way you breathe. Okay. Your joints should feel open and subtle. Okay. You shouldn't feel so sore. You should feel great after you do this. Okay. And it's really hard to feel great after you do this if you're using extra muscle tension. Okay. So hit the like button. Okay. And I'm only looking for 10 people. 10 people at a time is how I'm going to teach this. Just so we can keep track of what's going out, okay, and who's doing what. All right. Because if the shifting doesn't make sense and it's not right, anything the upper body will do, and anything with the spiraling will be basically pointless, okay, when you connect it from the root. This is why having a foundation is so important, okay? So the higher you go up, the more stable you can be. That makes sense in life and also with the silk reeling and the Tai Chi. All right, so you guys hit that like button. I will message the people that reached out and said they want to learn, and we will go from there. Amin Topha. Peace.